Hi, good afternoon, boys and girls. Today we're going to be reviewing what we learned on Friday and then discussed a little bit more in detail today on triangles. Triangles is a polygon that has three sides and three angles, and they can be classified by either their side lengths or their angle measure. So let's take a look right now at just their side lengths and how they can be classified by their side lengths. If we look here, we see that we have a triangle, and these congruency marks say that all three sides are the same. So we will call this an equilateral triangle. That's because all three sides are the same. If you notice, the EQU has the prefix equal in it, so all three sides are the same. It's called an equilateral triangle. This next triangle has two sides that are the same. Here are my congruency marks. That's called an isosceles triangle. Isosceles. Isosceles has two congruent sides. This last triangle has no sides the same. This is called a scalene triangle. Scalene has no sides congruent. So let's go back up. Equilateral, all sides are congruent. Isosceles, two sides are congruent. And scalene, no sides are congruent. Okay, let's take a look at how else you can classify triangles, and that's by angle measure. Okay, if we take a look at this first triangle, we notice that it has a right angle, so therefore we will call this a right triangle. It has one right angle. This next triangle has three acute angles, so we call this an acute triangle. It has three acute angles. And last but not least, I have this triangle down here that has this very wide angle. This is called an obtuse triangle. Oops, let's spell that. It has one obtuse angle. Now, we've just looked at the fact that they can be classified by their angle measure or classified by their side length. So let's take a look at a couple examples and see what we would call these. So I have a triangle here. This triangle has two sides that are congruent, but it also has three acute angles. Therefore, let's see. Here we go. Therefore, I would name this an isosceles acute triangle. I don't know if you guys can see that. I think that's a little bit too light. Let's see if I can write it a little bit bigger, a little bit better. Isosceles acute triangle, because it has two congruent sides and it has three acute angles. Okay, let's see if I can do one more. Okay. All right, my triangle's kind of big here. Okay. All right, there we go. So I have a right angle here, so I know it's a right triangle, and I know that if I folded this in half, then I would get the same on each side. So this particular triangle is a right isosceles. Right isosceles. Okay. Let's look at one more. Okay. If I take a look at this triangle, all three sides are the same, and I have three acute angles. So this would be equilateral, acute. Now, it doesn't matter which order that you do the numbers in, or the words in. You can do acute equilateral or equilateral acute, either one. So I hope this has been a help to you for your homework tonight, and if you have any questions, make sure you bring them in. Good night.